back in, everyone. I'm joined by Andre Chaussee, who is with AARP of Maine. Always great to have you guys here. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for having me, Beth. It's great to be here.
So this is exciting because we always, unfortunately, we frequently hear about Maine seniors getting scammed in various forms. And you know, you hope that the people who perpetrate those scams are brought to justice or that there's a way to prevent them. You folks are pushing legislation in the state legislature that addresses just that issue. So what are these bills that you guys have gotten behind?
Right. So AARP is very much involved in advocacy work at the state and the national level. Mm-hmm. So when people think of AARP, they often think, oh, well, that's about insurance or discounts or travel. But a lot of the work that we do in advocacy for the 50-plus community is involved with volunteers going to the state houses and advocating for some of this legislation that affects the 50-plus community. Yeah. And you know, scams and financial fraud is a big issue, particularly for seniors, because they're the most vulnerable and the most affected by these scams. Yeah. So there are a couple of bills in the State House right now. Okay. LD 1339, which is a cryptocurrency bill, and LD 1445, which is a bill on fraud in general that is more involved with banking. So the cryptocurrency bill is, there are three different pieces to it. So it proposes a limit on the amount that can be taken out of these cryptocurrency ATMs. So a lot of these scams involve folks, the scammers targeting older adults with tactics, whether it's romance scams or other types of technology scams, where they tell them, oh, your money's not safe in your bank. You need to take your money out of your bank and go to this cryptocurrency ATM and deposit that cash there, and that's how they steal the money. So one part of this bill limits the amount that new accounts can put into these accounts to $1,000. Okay. So a senior won't be robbed of their entire life savings.
Which has happened, unfortunately.
Yeah, which has happened.
Yeah.
So that's the first bill. And then the second bill, LD 1445, provides for a stop and, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. It provides for a way to stop and hold accounts from being withdrawn. Okay. So if a scammer convinces a frightened senior to go to the bank and withdraw all their money, there are people at the banks that are trained to recognize these as frauds. Okay. But the banks don't have the ability to stop these transactions unless the customer tells them to. Yeah. And so this bill would enable the bank to be able to say, oh, this looks like fraud. Let's put a stop on this transaction until we can make sure that this is a legitimate transaction.
So important, because we hear that sort of thing happen so many times. We're running out of time, but I do want to ask, if folks want to help you support these bills, how can folks get involved in this part of the process in helping you all do this important work at the State House?
Well, we're always looking for folks to volunteer to advocate at the State House on Tuesdays when the legislature is in session. But if you want to go to the AARP Maine website, there's a way for you to participate in the work that we're doing on fraud and also the other issues. So go to aarp.org/ME and you'll be able to find more information about the stuff that we're working on in advocacy and also the stuff that's going on statewide.
Such an important issue for Maine seniors. We thank you so much for shedding a little light on it. We're glad to hear that these bills are in process and will continue to follow.
Thanks, Beth.
All right, Andre, thank you so much. Folks, we'll be right back with your extended forecast.